We've got a studio full of really smart kids. I'm Father Reed, and this is the Catholic TV Challenge. That's correct. That's right.
Universal truth. Catholic faith. Hope.
Okay, Father Reed. Okay, boys and girls.
Life eternal love. In the way.
Welcome everyone to the game show where the kids are the teachers. So let's meet our first set of contestants. Mr. Nelson, could you introduce them to us, please?
Father Reed, it's a great group of contestants we have kicking off today's show. Our first contestant for this round is Isabella Colantonio. Isabella loves dance and gymnastics. Her favorite subject in school is reading. She also loves the Harry Potter movies, and she loves her cats Charlotte and Ducky. And our second contestant is Paul Lupianas. Paul's favorite hobby is fishing. One of his favorite classes in school is gym. His favorite movie is River Monsters, and he also enjoys skateboarding. And our third contestant is Elizabeth Kapori. Lizzie's favorite subjects in school are math and spelling and sports. She loves playing softball, and one of her favorite movies is Star Wars. She also likes reading the book The 14th Goldfish. And those are our three contestants for this round of WOW, the Catholic TV Challenge.
Isabella, Paul, Lizzie, so great to have you as our first set of contestants. You look like you're raring to go. Every single one of you. Lizzie, is it all right if I call you Lizzie? Because I know your full name is Elizabeth.
Yes.
Lizzie it is, okay? And Paul in the middle, I like your Catholic TV pin there. I don't know where you got that. And Isabella, I got to ask you a question. Isabella necessary on a bike? I got to tell you, that's where this. You know where this came from? I had an aunt, Isabel, and she would always ask us that question, and we would have the same reaction. She'd, Isabel necessary on a bike? And we'd like, look at her. What are you talking about? Anyway, enough of that. Let me go over the rules. You want to keep your hands by your side, all right? And I get to ask the questions. That's my little job. But you have the far more important job of answering the questions, preferably correctly if you can. So listen to the whole question. If you think you know the answer, hit the red button in front of you. If you get it right, great. If you don't get it right, no big deal. We'll just move on. How's that sound? Good? Great. Now, what we need is, we need something to talk about. Around these parts, we call it the what about. You know, what about this? What about that? It's the theme of the show. And, I can't think of a better person than my old friend Drew to let us know what today's what about is. Hey, Drew, what's today's what about anyway?
Father Reed, today's what about is Patron Saints.
Patron Saints! Hey, Drew, thanks a lot. You're the best, man. Patron Saints, that's our theme today. That's our what about. It's what we're going to be talking about. And Lizzie, Paul, Isabella, if you guys are ready, you ready?
Yep.
Studio audience, are you ready?
Yeah!
Well, then we're going to set the Wow Watch. And I have the first question for you. Hands by your side. Listen to the whole thing. Who, by the way, is the patron saint of altar servers? Paul.
St. John Berkman.
That's correct. Very good. How'd you know that? You're very smart. You must be from St. Teresa's school. All right. Here's a second question for you. See if you can get this one. Isabella, Lizzie, Paul. Who's the patron saint of animals? Paul.
St. Francis of Assisi.
That's correct. All right. Now, this is a favorite one of mine, okay? Because I've seen much of what she was involved in. And I have to ask you who the patron saint of archaeology is. Paul?
St. Helena.
That's correct. She was the mother of the Roman Emperor Constantine. And she went to the Holy Land and discovered the relic of the true cross and a lot of the holy sites that we revere now as places where Jesus lived and preached and died and rose. Okay, here's one for you. The patron saint. Who is the patron saint of medical doctors? Isabella.
St. Luke.
That's correct. St. Luke. All of you who are watching today, who are medical doctors, you can turn to St. Luke whenever you need some help, and he'll pray for you. Because that's what the patron saints do. They pray for us. The saints are in heaven, and they pray for us. Like, for example, if you were an athlete, who would be your patron saint? Isabella.
Saint Sebastian.
That's correct. Any athletes in this crowd? Saint Sebastian is your man. Okay. Our Wudabouts is patron saints, and I'm going to ask Lizzie and Paul right now, and Isabella, who the patron saint of bankers is. Paul.
Saint Matthew.
That's correct. And you know why? You know why? Because Matthew was a tax collector, so he knows about money. Okay. Isabella, Paul, Lizzie, the patron saint of the blind. Paul.
Saint Lucy.
That's correct. This is a little tough, but she was martyred. Right before she was martyred, they gouged her eyes out. So that's why she's the patron saint of those who cannot see. All right, let's see, girls, if you get this one. Because, also Paul, who's the patron saint of boys? Paul.
Saint John Bosco.
That's correct. He's an Italian priest, and he took really good care of the boys growing up in the city who didn't have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of money. And we're all out of time. I can't believe it was such an exciting round. Lizzie and Isabella, you were great. Paul, congratulations, you won the round. But it was wonderful having the three of you as our first set of contestants. Thank you so very much. And it was great having you watch. Don't go away. We're going to take a quick break. More wow to come.
You have just seen our first group of contestants, and here's your first round winner. Coming up, our next three contestants will vie for the second spot in the final challenge when WOW, the Catholic TV Challenge, continues.
It's round two here today on WOW, the Catholic TV Challenge, and we have three new contestants, and I would love for you to meet them. Mr. Nelson, who are they?
More great contestants for this round. Father Reed, our first contestant, is William Cuniff. Billy's favorite subjects in school are math and science. For sports, hockey and baseball are his favorites. One of his favorite movies is Star Wars, and for a hobby, he enjoys playing Minecraft. And our second contestant is Caroline Wozni. Caroline's favorite sports are basketball and softball. Her favorite subjects in school are English and science. One of her favorite movies is The Goonies, and she enjoys playing the piano. And our third contestant is Courtney Lenz. Courtney's favorite subject in school is science. For sports, she loves gymnastics. One of her favorite hobbies is woodworking with her dad, and she also plays the trumpet. And those are our three contestants for this round of WOW, the Catholic TV Challenge.
Courtney, we got a cabinet in the green room that's falling apart. You think your dad and you could come over and do some work on it? I'm dying to get somebody to fix it. Hey, thanks for being one of our next contestants here on WOW. Caroline, I'm so glad you're in the middle because, you know what? I happen to know your parents. And I was there on the day of their wedding. And I'm so happy and so honored that you are right there in the middle here on the second round of WOW. And it's great to see you. And Billy, otherwise known as Guillermo, William, Bill, how's everything going way over there?
Good.
Good. Are you nervous at all?
No.
You don't look it. You look perfectly fine. I hope you guys are okay with our Wudabout today. It's Patron Saints.
Yep.
Patron Saints. Not too hard and kind of interesting, I think. Let me just go over the rules. You want to keep your hands by your side, all right? Listen to the whole question. If you think you know the answer, when I'm done, hit the red button in front of you. If you get it right, great. If you don't get it right, it's not a big deal. It's all right? Billy, Caroline, Courtney, you okay with those rules? Studio audience, are you ready? Yeah! Well, then let's set the WOW watch. Hands by your side. I get to ask the first question now, and a few others after that. Ladies and gentlemen, who's the patron saint of girls? Courtney?
Saint Maria Goretti.
That's correct. And I bet you don't know when her feast day is. No, you don't. It's July 6th. And the only reason I know that, I remember that, is I was ordained a priest on July 6th, the feast of Saint Maria Goretti. How do you like that? All right, here's the next one. And this is very important because a lot of people struggle with this. Who is the patron saint of cancer patients? Courtney.
St. Peregrine.
That's correct. St. Peregrine. St. Peregrine, as the Italians say. All right, here's a good one for you. Near and dear to my heart. Who is my patron saint? Courtney.
St. Robert Bellarmine.
That's correct. In fact, I have some friends who call me Robert Bellarmine. I do. Now, this is another one, also very near and dear to my heart, Billy Caroline, Courtney, the patron saint of the Catholic TV network. Bill.
St. Teresa the Little Flower.
That's correct. Saint Therese of Lisieux, the Little Flower. She only was about 24 years old, 23 years old when she died. All right, here's one for you. And she's a doctor of the church, too. Who is the patron saint of bombers? Caroline!
St. Isidore.
That's correct! Love it. Love it. Now, what about today? Patron saints, the people to whom we lift up our hearts in prayer and ask them to pray for us, especially when we have particular needs or particular state in life. Like, for example, who's the patron saint of grandparents? Courtney?
St. Joachim and Anne.
That's correct. And the reason being, of course, they were the parents of Mary, the mother of Jesus. So they were Jesus' grandparents. So they're the patron saint of grandparents. How do you like that? Now, I wouldn't know anything about this, but who's the patron saint of hairdressers? Caroline.
St. Martin.
That's correct. And only your hairdresser knows for sure. All right, here's one for you. The patron saint for hospitals.
John of God.
St. John of God is correct. Now, we have a lot of people who live in our midst who come from other countries. Immigrants. Who's their patron saint? Courtney.
Saint Francis Cabrini.
That's correct. Just got that in under the wire. Oh, literally under the wire, because we're out of time. Caroline, Billy, Courtney, so great to share this time with you. Congratulations on being such great contestants. Special congratulations to Courtney, the winner of our second round. We're going to bring you back, my dear, later on, but right now we're going to take a quick break. Don't go away. There's more wow to come.
We have our second contestant for the final round, and we have 3 more contestants ready to play for the final spot in the final challenge. Stay with us as WOW, the Catholic TV Challenge, continues in just a moment.
I got a chance to meet our next set of contestants. They are 3 absolutely fantastic kids. Mr. Nelson, who are they?
They certainly are, Father Reed. Our first contestant for this round is John Burns. Johnny's favorite class in school is gym. For sports, his favorites are baseball and swimming. One of his favorite movies is Pixels. And our second contestant is Isabel O'Brien. Izzy's favorite sports are swimming and basketball. In school, her favorite subject is science, and one of her favorite movies is Jumanji. And our third contestant is Griffin McConville. Griffin's favorite subject in school is religion. For sports, hockey is his favorite. One of his favorite movies is the classic It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. And one of his favorite hobbies is collecting little cups. And those are our 3 contestants for this round of WOW, the Catholic TV Challenge.
This is a mad, 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 mad game show, Griffin. Great to have you with us. You and Johnny, you got kind of like complimentary shirts. Did you do that on purpose? It's a good look. And then right in the middle, the rose between 2 thorns, Izzy. And let me ask you, Isabel necessary on a bike? Who knows? Who knows? But you know what? I think you know a lot about patron saints, and that's why we've asked you to step up and be our third set of contestants. Let me just go over the rules. You want to keep your hands by your side. I'll ask the questions. That's my little job. That's why I get paid the big bucks. but you get to answer the questions. So if you think you know the answer, hit the red button in front of you. If you get it right, great. If you don't get it right, no big deal. Because I got lots of questions. See what I mean? So, sound all right? Good. And you have great backing here. You have a fantastic audience right behind you to cheer you on. Aren't you the best audience ever?
Yeah!
Screechy, too. Screechy. So, let's just set the watch. And I have the first question. Today's What About, of course, is patron saints. Who is the patron saint of hopeless causes? Johnny.
St. Jude.
That's correct. St. Jude Thaddeus. Now, everybody knows this one. And I bet the TV audience can guess it right now, even before I ask the question. Who is the patron saint of lost things? Johnny.
St. Anthony.
St. Anthony is right. And I'm going to tell you, there's never been a time in my life when I couldn't find something, and if I stop and ask St. Anthony to help me and pray for me, always find it. Every single time, without fail. It's amazing. Okay. Now, this is a difficult one to pronounce, but who's the patron saint of people with mental illness? Izzy.
St. Dymphna.
St. Dymphna is correct. And she is a wonderful resource because, you know, a lot of times we forget that there are people with physical illnesses, but then there are also people with mental illnesses. And both can be very, very challenging for people. So it's great to have someone you can turn to, St. Dymphna. Now, oh, this is another easy one. Who's the patron saint of lovers? Izzy.
St. Valentine.
St. Valentine is right. St. Valentine. Hence the name of Valentine's Day, February 14th. Now, what about the patron saint of the people of Mexico?
Our Lady of Guadalupe.
That's correct. Mary, the Mother of God, Our Lady, under the title of Our Lady of Guadalupe, who gave her image to Juan Diego on his tilma, excuse me. How about this one? The patron saint of soldiers. Johnny.
Saint Joan of Arc.
That's correct. You had to just shuffle through the cards there for a second in your head. Exactly. And it's a woman saint, a young woman, is the patron saint of soldiers. Think of that. Now, speaking of women, who's the patron saint of mothers? Griffin.
St. Monica.
That's correct. She was, in fact, the mother of St. Augustine. And she wept bitterly over his conversion. And finally, he came to his senses and he became a Christian. All right. Very, very close round here today. Who is the patron saint of musicians? Johnny.
St. Cecilia.
St. Cecilia. Exactly. She was a Roman saint, a Roman citizen. Now, this is one particularly, again, near and dear to my heart. Johnny, Izzy, Griffin. Oh, I'm going to have to save that question for the next round. We are all out of time. Griffin, Izzy, Johnny, you are a great set of contestants. I must congratulate Johnny for being the winner of the third round. We're going to bring you back for the final challenge right after this break. Don't go away.
The group for the final challenge has been decided. We have our three contestants. Which one of these three will be today's Catholic TV Challenge winner? Find out in just a minute.
This is the best part of the show. This is the final challenge. And we brought back Johnny, Courtney, and Paul, who are very quick at the draw to compete against one another to see who wins the game today. The whole kit and caboodle. So you guys know the rules, right? I don't have to go over that with you now. And, you know, we all know what today's What About is, patron saints. And we have a studio audience that's all raring to go, correct?
Yeah!
So without further ado, I'm going to set the watch. Hands by your side. The three of you listen to the full question, and I love this one. Who's the patron saint of television?
St. Clair.
That's correct. How about this one? Who's the patron saint of scientists?
St. Albert the Great.
Albert the Great is right. You know what? I just made a decision. These questions are too easy. We're going to turn the job over to that vindicator of virtue, that guardian of grace, that champion of the church, that curator of Catholicism. Yes, the very hero of holiness himself. Captain Wowzer, the super challenge man. Do you have a question for these three friends of mine?
Okay, Father Reed. Okay, boys and girls, here is a super challenge. Who is the patron saint of politicians?
One more time. Courtney.
St. Thomas More.
St. Thomas More is correct. So if you ever get into politics, you know who to pray to. What about the patron saint of priests? Johnny.
St. John Vianney.
Correct. He himself was a parish priest. Let's go back to that vindicator of virtue, Captain Wowzer. How about another super challenge for these three?
All right, Father Reed. Okay, boys and girls, here is another super challenge. Who is the patron saint of popes?
Johnny?
St. Peter.
St. Peter himself, yes! He was, of course, the first pope. Here's one for the three of you. The patron saint of Scotland.
St. Andrew.
That's correct. Have you remember that because I have Scottish blood running through these veins. Here's one, and I know you're going to get this. The patron saint of sore throats.
St. Blaise.
St. Blaise is right. This is a close one. Hey, how about turning it over one more time to that guardian of grace, that curator of Catholicism, Captain Wowzer. One more question.
Father Reed, boys and girls, here is another super challenge. Who is the patron saint of preachers?
Paul.
St. John Chrysostom.
St. John Chrysostom, that's correct. St. John Chrysostom, Chrysostom means golden mouth, golden mouth. How about this one? Easy. Patron saint of Christmas.
St. Nicholas.
Nicholas is right. Otherwise known as Santa Claus. Okay, all right, here's an easy one. I think we're out of time. I was going to ask you who the patron saint of Ireland is, but I don't have to now because we're done, and you guys have been just terrific, all three of you. I have to congratulate Paul for winning the show today. Nice job. Nice job. Nice job. And hey, Mr. Nelson, do we have a prize for our television champion today?
Catholic TV Challenge receives a new Roku streaming player. Find your favorite on-demand movies and TV shows by gliding through screens, flying through channels, and finding what you want to watch instantly. Before you know it, you'll be up in streaming wonderland. Say goodbye to the couch huddle. Get all the photos, songs, and videos you keep on your phone instantly on your TV with the free Roku app for iOS and Android. And best of all, watch WOW and Catholic TV live and on demand with Roku.
Congratulations to Paul and also to Courtney and Johnny, and thanks to all of our contestants today. They were just fantastic, and thanks to you for joining us once again. I hope you come back for the next episode of WOW, the Catholic TV Challenge. Until then, God bless.